with them all the time? Occasionally. Or maybe you just pass by the cylinder storage area on the way to the break room. Whatever your contact with compressed gas cylinders, you need to remember they can be dangerous. Compressed gas cylinders look harmless enough, and when you work around them all the time, you probably don't give them a second thought. But they can pose a threat to your safety and health. Some cylinders contain gases that are toxic or explosive. Cylinders must be correctly labeled so you know what you're working with. Labels or markings must be easy to read, with at least the chemical name or commonly accepted name of the material contained. And the labels or markings can't be easy to remove. Remember, whenever it's practical, your labels should be at the valve end. Try not to put the labels at the lower part of the body because it's harder to read. Knowing how to properly handle compressed gas cylinders helps increase your safety. If cylinders are mishandled or knocked over, the valve or regulator may rupture. When this happens, the sudden release of the compression in the cylinder can propel it like a rocket up to 100 feet. Even though tanks are strong, and they seem to take a beating, they can still be damaged. Handle them carefully so you don't injure yourself or others. If the tanks aren't moved correctly, they can also cause injury. Keep in mind that tanks can be very heavy. You have to lift properly to avoid back injury. Other common injuries caused by improper handling or moving include dropping the cylinder on a foot or banging it against a knee. Properly handling compressed gas cylinders can significantly lower your chances of being injured. For instance, when moving containers, do not drag or slide them. Take care that containers don't drop or strike against each other or other surfaces. Don't use magnets to lift the cylinders because it's not a secure means of lifting the container. And anytime you handle compressed gas cylinders, assume they're full and handle them with care. Rope, chains, and slings should only be used to lift or suspend cylinders if they have appropriate manufacturer-approved lifting attachments. It's also important to properly store compressed gas cylinders. Proper storage helps keep your cylinders in good shape and makes them less vulnerable to damage. When storing cylinders, be sure to secure them so they can't tip over. Store cylinders in temperatures below 130 degrees. That's because gas tries to expand when it heats up. As gas expands, it puts too much pressure on the cylinder and can cause an explosion. When different types of gases are stored in the same area, they should be grouped by type of gas. Names of the gases should be prominently posted in the storage area. Compressed gas cylinders can be stored outside, but they must be protected from the ground. If the cylinders are not protected from the ground, the bottom of the container can become corroded and rupture. If you are storing containers in public areas, they must be protected from tampering. Some ways you can protect cylinders from tampering are to secure them in a cage or enclosure. One last note on proper storage of compressed gas cylinders. Full and empty containers should be stored separately. Knowing how to properly transport cylinders is also important for your safety. When transporting cylinders, remove the regulator and make sure the protective valve cover is securely in place. Because of their shape, smooth surface, and weight, cylinders can be difficult to transport by hand. The best way to move heavy cylinders is to roll them on the bottom edge. Again, they should not be dragged. Cylinders that weigh more than 40 pounds should be transported on a hand or motorized truck. When transporting gas cylinders, take care to allow as little movement as possible. Oh, one last thing. Remember that trained personnel are the only people who should fill or discharge compressed gas cylinders. Compressed gas cylinders can be dangerous, but you can significantly reduce your chance of being injured if you handle and store gas cylinders correctly.